Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Janine's Gluten-Free Kitchen. If you are new to this channel, please take the opportunity to subscribe and hit the bell. And if you're returning, it's great to have you back. Today we are going to be making a yummy fish pie, which was inspired by a recent visit to an awesome cafe called Urban Cafe on the Gold Coast. And we are making our own version that we've been inspired by, so we're looking forward to sharing that with you. So as I mentioned, we were recently on the Gold Coast for our holidays and we got to experience these beautiful Mornay Barramundi pies from the Urban Cafe, which I highly suggest if you are gluten-free and dairy-free and looking for a good cafe on the Gold Coast. Big plug out to you guys. But we came home and wanted to make our own version because we can't always get to the Gold Coast. So we made this beautiful Barramundi pie ourselves that we're sharing. So let's get started. I've got my pan here and I'm going to drizzle some olive oil into the base. Now remember, all the ingredients are below, so you can check them out, and you can also go to our website and print them out. And I am starting with a little bit of chopped spring onions or scallions, otherwise known as. We're going to throw those in and we're just going to lightly saute them until they're nice and tender. I have some broccoli that I've cut into little bitty florets, so that they're not too big and a good mouth size for the pie. Broccoli does tend to soak up oil very quickly, so I'm just going to throw a dash in because my pan's getting a little dry. And I still have other things to fry. Next is our silverbeet, which I've sliced very thin and again made it into a good eating size. You don't want a pie to have ingredients that are so big that you can't eat it well. So that looks about right. And remember, silverbeet does reduce a lot. So you know what, let's just throw it all in. And the other ingredient I'm using is frozen spinach, which you can use straight out of the box. But what I like to do is rinse off the extra water. Spinach actually, mature spinach leaves contains what's called oxalates. And oxalates can cause kidney stones. So whenever I'm using spinach, I like to give it a rinse before I use it, just to avoid that ingredient. That's our veggies cooked. I'm going to put that aside and I'm going to cook the fish. Put the pan back up, throw a little bit of oil in. We've got our barramundi that I have taken the skin off and diced into small cubes. Now remember, fish does shrink. What's beautiful about this recipe though is that you can make it with chicken, you can make it with pork, you can make it with any white meat. You can do it with prawns and other seafood as well. Because this is a quick cook, you could do it with lamb, but I wouldn't necessarily do it with beef because beef tends to not like hard, fast cook like pies need. So guys, the thing about fish is it can go tough very quickly. You don't want to overcook it. When you see that we've got a little bit of browning on both sides, but you imagine it's still a little pink inside, at that point I'm going to add our veggies back in. And stir that through. Just turn the heat down a little bit. And at this point we're going to season. So, what do we have for seasoning? Some fresh dill that I chopped up. And I love the smell, the taste of fresh dill with fish. It's beautiful. I have a little bit of dried oregano. I don't want too much of this, maybe just a teaspoon. I have some garlic powder. Yep, about a teaspoon. Some ground black pepper. That's probably more like half a teaspoon. And finally, some turmeric, which I love again with fish. Turmeric tastes lovely with fish, but geez, it's got some beautiful health properties. Awesome anti-inflammatory. That. Now, make sure when you're tossing this towards the end that you're not too rough with it, because the fish does fall apart very easily. Our fish is cooked, our veggies are cooked, and now we want to add the cream sauce. Now, I have two different types of dairy-free creaming thickening agents that I'm going to show you today. So I'm going to put some of this aside in my other pan. Okay, I've just separated some so you can see both. The first thing we've got here is a cashew cream / milk. It's what I would call a thin cream. And this I made by soaking cashews in hot water and then blending them in a stock. I actually used water and stock powder, but yeah, you can use a veggie stock. And you end up with a very thin, creamy milk. And I am going to add this, and you'll see how beautifully it thickens. It makes a gorgeous sauce. You see it picking up all those beautiful colours from the turmeric. Isn't that gorgeous? And as the cashew cream heats up, it gets thicker. Okay, so that's ready. You don't want it to become too dry. So I'll take that off the heat and I'll bring the other one over. Now, the reason why I'm showing you a second option is because not everybody can eat nuts, and also cashew cream is a very creamy choice for the sauce, and for some it can still mimic dairy in the body. I know for me it makes me quite congested, so we're going to try a different version, and that is tofu, creamed silken tofu, and which I've just done in a processor, and the result is, to me it looks like mayonnaise. So let's give that a try. Full disclosure, I haven't used it before. So we're watching this together new. Oh yeah, wow, cool. Probably need a bit more. And I'm really curious how this is going to taste as well. Because the thing about the cashew cream is it doesn't have a strong taste at all. You don't know. You don't taste nuttiness in with the fish pie. Okay. That's looking good. Looking very good. All right, I'm going to turn that off because I don't want it to dry out. So that's our 2 different types of sauces. We're going to let those cool down for about 10 to 15 minutes and then we'll come back and assemble it with our pastry, our puff pastry. Back soon. Our sauces and fish is ready to be filled into the pie, and what I have is some pre-bought puff pastry from the supermarket. The thing about this pastry, it's not like conventional pastry and you can't get it in a long sheet. So you often kind of have to work with small sheets. Now the important thing about the pie is you want to get the top of your pie dish or ramekin in one piece, but the rest you can kind of stitch together, and I'll show you what I mean. So this dish, just going to go around to give us the top. And what I've done with our pie dishes is buttered them very, very well because we want them to come out fairly easily, and also the Nuttelex or vegan butter will help to brown the pastry. So I have my top, and now with the leftover I can go ahead and do the base. And as I said, it's going to be a bit of a tapestry of stitching things together. So this is what that looks like. Okay, so that's one, and you could see how what I did was not only sort of stitch them together, but if there was any cracks that came about, which can often happen when you're not doing something flat, you can just fill it in. And the beauty of the pie is the bottom doesn't matter, it's the top bit that you want to look pretty. I'm going to go ahead and do the other 2, and I'll be back. Our pastry cases are now ready to go, and I'm going to fill them with our beautiful fish filling. Now this is the one that has the tofu, and you can see it's a lovely texture. And the taste, honestly, I don't taste any tofu at all. All I can taste is that lovely fish, which is perfect. Okay, that's one. And then we have our cashew. Now you can see by the size of these are meal-sized pies. They are self-contained because we've got all those beautiful veggies in it. You don't really need to do much to the side of it except maybe have a nice fresh salad, which is a beautiful choice to have. And then our gorgeous tops, beautifully sized, are going to go on the top. Now, if you've never made a pie before, it's really important to add a vent hole to any pie, because what happens is as the filling heats up, all the steam comes out, and if you weren't to put a vent hole in the top, it will go mushy and the pastry won't cook as brown or as crispy. So all that means is you're going to put a little cross in the top of it. Particularly with these bigger pies, you need the steam to escape. Let's go ahead and do our other two. Pie's ready to be baked in the oven to get all crispy. I'm going to put that in a 180°C oven for between 20 and 30 minutes, or as long as the pastry needs to get brown and crispy. So that will be up to your oven and you. And our pies are now cooked out of the oven, and look how beautiful they are. Will make a gorgeous meal for anybody. And as I said, you don't have to do fish, you can do chicken or prawns or whatever else. Now guys, we have a special bonus tip for you with these pies. What we've discovered is if you take them out of the ramekins or the pie case, you can pop them into an air fryer, and cook them for another 10 or so minutes, and the pastry gets super golden and crispy all over, even underneath, which sometimes can be missed when they're still in the ramekins. You can also cook these ahead of time, pop them in the fridge, and when you're ready to eat them, take them out of the ramekins again, pop them in the microwave just to get the center heated, and then pop them into the air fryer again. Same thing, you get the beautiful crispy outside that you can't get when you're reheating the microwave, and it takes only 10 minutes as opposed to putting it in the oven. So that's our little tip for you. If you've never used an air fryer, we're going to be reviewing one in the upcoming weeks. We've just bought one recently, and we'll let you know how we go. So keep an eye out for that upcoming video that we'll be showing you. Okay, that's it for us guys. Hope you've enjoyed that. Hit the like if you have, and share around and leave us a comment. And that's it. So see you later. Dean's making jokes and putting me off the game. All right. Beanie. Oh. All right. So where were we? So that is, yeah. We'll try that again. Now I got the giggles. Or tip for you as that we hadn't. No, that didn't work. That was weird. Okay.